Okay, so I am live. This is an impromptu live, as all my individual lives are impromptu. Just looking for my chime, of course, because I'm so spontaneous and have to literally move when the spirit leads me. Otherwise, I won't do it because I'll find a million reasons why. Someone was just asking me what's my channel name. So anyway, I am excited and want to say a live thank you to all of my subscribers who have been with me over the past year to help build up the channel. I have a little over 1,000 subscribers, yay! And that is awesome. I have to admit, I have been toying, T-O-Y-I-N-G, toying, however you say it. You ever find yourself in that position where you say a certain word that you've said a million times and all of a sudden you realize that word sounds weird, sounds strange, and so toying, whatever, you know what I mean. Toying with the idea of monetizing my channel. Why? Because I'm a single mom, I'm an artist, massage therapist, and I can always use all the funds I can get. However, I have to see how it works because, you know, there's some ads that I would not want. There are some ads that I would not want to be shown on my channel. And I was just lighting some incense. I'm not too sure how YouTube, I mean, I guess I could put a disclaimer. I was just lighting some incense. I guess I could put a disclaimer at the beginning of my video that, you know, I may or may not agree with any or all advertisement that appears on the beginning of the channel. I would probably, if I did do monetization, it would just be the ads at the beginning of the channel and not into that having a commercial break. So I'm not 100% sure. I am leaning in that direction, but I'm not 100% sure. Welcome, Zakia. Welcome, Cupcake Gratitude. And Mimi and Batasha. I like that name, Batasha. That's pretty, Batasha. So today I received a gift of Wildwood Tarot, and it is a completely different system than Rider-Waite and all of that. And I've already edged my deck with copper, and I've learned that the key to edging a deck without getting paint on all of the cards, which usually is what happens to me, but the artist in me really doesn't care because it's sort of like I'm putting my statement on the deck. So anyway, I forget what I was saying. I wanted to do some one-card readings from the Wildwood Tarot for everyone. But before we get started, I'd like to welcome everyone. Please share this video, invite your friends, and let's take a nice, deep, centering breath to welcome us into this sacred space. So there we go. There we go. All right. Let me put my glasses up here. So this space that I'm sitting in, this is a very tiny section of my living room. And as you can see, I have a bookshelf here to my left. I have a little mouse in a cage. That's our pet Squeakers. He's to my right. I have about 6 djembes to my right as well. 2 milk crates full of books. A bookshelf next to the sofa. One 5-foot bookshelf right in front of me, filled. 6-foot bookshelf, filled. Bookshelves in the back, so surrounded by books and a basket. Let me see if I can lift this up. A basket full of Oracle. That was heavy. Okay, I'm probably a little weak and maybe I need to work out, but that basket was heavy. Basket full of Oracle cards. So before we get started today, I wanted to do something that I haven't done in a while. I wanted to bring on one of our crystal friends. And hey, I'm game. If there is anyone out there that wants to come on live and be on this session with me, I welcome you. Just put a message in the chat box over, well, down below. So this is Argonite. Argonite. So let me look it up, make sure it's in this book. Welcome, Trey. Got my glasses on. Last night I went to a poetry reading at a local bookstore, and I read one of my poems for the first time. Other than one-on-one readings of my poetry, I've only ever read my poems on here. I think I did it once. Let's see, how do I spell it? Oh, here we go. So last night, it was an open mic poetry reading, and there were a lot of amazing poets, really amazing poets. And I had about not even 2 ounces of wine. It was not enough to get up any liquid courage. But I figure, you know what? If I don't read, I am going to regret going home and not reading. So I did actually read 2 of my poems last night. I was shaking and I was nervous and I felt like I was either going to stutter. And yes, I do stutter sometimes, or pass out. But I didn't do either, so I'm very proud of myself. Okay, so this is Argonite. Here you go. Can you see that? Nails aren't too dirty today. So this is Argonite. Oh, and by the way, that's hematite ring on my finger next to some silver bands by the jewelry artist Emily Schaefer, who used to live in my town, and now she is further up in New England. I think she's either in Vermont or Maine. So check her out on Facebook, Emily Schaefer Jewelry. You can find her on Instagram, actually. So anyway, this is Argonite. Isn't that beautiful? Just clusters of tubular crystals. Can you see them? That's beautiful. Let's see. So Argonite. Argonite is a calcium carbonate material with a hardness of 3.5 to 4, so it's not very hard. It occurs in various colors, including white, gray, white, gray, reddish, yellow, green, and blue. And this is the reddish. It's kind of like a clearish and reddish color. The most popular varieties for metaphysical use are red Argonite and blue Argonite. I've never seen blue Argonite, but this is red. You know what? I have a larger specimen. I'm going to go get it for you. And you can see my fatigues. I'm one of those people who believes that all of the colors match. So wear whatever color you feel like wearing at the moment. My son said that his grandmother, his father's mother, told him that he was not allowed to wear clothes unless they matched. And I said to him, you tell grandma that you're an artist, and artists wear whatever it is they want to wear when they wear it. Okay, so here's a larger, so you see this larger cluster of Argonite right there. Look how beautiful that is. Isn't that amazing? So that's Argonite. I think it's a little dusty. Okay, so let's get back to it. Keywords for Argonite: balancing energy fields, emotional healing, renewed strength and confidence, The element is storm. That's interesting. And the chakra is all. Greetings, Kayla Divine Channel. Welcome. So Robert Simmons, these stones are powerful allies for healing and balancing of the emotional body. They can assist in maintaining a center of serenity in trying circumstances and in discharging subconsciously held tensions related to past emotional wounds. Meditation with these beautiful and uniquely shaped crystal clusters can open the inner eye to visionary experiences of past lives and forgotten events in this lifetime. Such memories can initially occur as the vivid re-experiencing of old woundings. However, when such attachments have been cleared from the body and the auric field, Argonite star clusters, let me turn the page. Argonite star clusters, hold on 1 second. I'm gonna hold up the smaller cluster for a few moments. I think it's good probably to always cleanse crystals every now and then. All right, where was I? Facilitate an adventure of exploration wherein one may cruise the archives of one's soul history, recovering beneficial information for soul advancement. These stones can help one be consciously aware of imbalances within one's energy field or within the field of someone who holds them. Argonite stars resonate well with all members of the calcite family. Here's another optical calcite, another one of my favorites. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, Zakia, you know what? I don't even remember. You know, there was a time when I remembered every single thing, including conversations verbatim. But then I guess once you get to a certain age, all that useless information just dissolves so you can deal with the day-to-day. Sorry, I don't even remember. And I'm sure I bought it at an expo. I would be willing to guess it was maybe between $18 to $20. Yeah, it is beautiful. I have several clusters of it, and especially smaller ones, because when I meditate, I like to have one in each hand and maybe one in front of me. And let's see, Naisha Isian, she says the energy of Argonite star clusters is at once soothing and energizing. It vibrates immediately. Its vibrations immediately spread through the body, clearing, cleansing, and balancing all of the energy clusters. It's an excellent meditation tool, facilitating connection with higher states of consciousness. They are well suited to those who wish to link with the higher mind in order to communicate its teachings on the earth plane. So anyway, this is Argonite. Absolutely love it. Okay, so who wants a reading? One card. One card reading. If you're interested in more than one card reading, please contact me. Those I do charge a fee for. They do take time. I'm actually doing I Ching readings as well. Right now, I have a whole list of people to get through, and then once I finish that, I will set up a link on my page in order to place an order for a reading. When I do my I Ching readings, I use yarrow stalks, and it takes quite some time. So before we get to the reading, I'm going to read a little bit from the Tao Te Ching. And I'm just going to read chapter 13 that I just opened up to. Chapter 13 of the Tao Te Ching, and this translation is by John C.H. Wu. Welcome disgrace as a pleasant surprise. Prize calamities as your own body. Why should we welcome disgrace as a pleasant surprise? Because a lowly state is a boon. Getting it is a pleasant surprise, and so is losing it. That is why we should welcome disgrace as a pleasant surprise. Why should we prize calamities as our own body? Because our body is the very source of our calamities. If we have no body, what calamities can we have? Hence, only he who is willing to give his body for the sake of the world is fit to be entrusted with the world. Only he who can do it with love is worthy of being the steward of the world. So that is very interesting, and I invite you to contemplate on that, to meditate on it, and see what it gives you. For me, just like, right off the bat, the first thing that comes to my mind, speaking of calamities, is probably about, I think it was 4 years ago, that I walked into a parking pole and broke my front tooth. Yes, you heard it right. How did it happen? Okay, I was doing something, and I think I mentioned this story on my channel before. I was doing something that I used to tell my children never do. Do not walk and then turn around and look in a different direction while you're walking, okay? Because once you turn back around, or even if you don't turn back around, something not so good can happen. And one day I was walking down the sidewalk really, really fast, and I heard someone whistle at me. And I wasn't going to turn around because I thought it was, some guy flirting with me. But then I heard a basketball dribble. And then I thought to myself, you know what? Who would be smart enough to do that would be one of my sons, my second son. And just as I turned around, the basketball dribbling stopped. So I assumed he walked into the house. And as I'm thinking all of this in my mind and turning around, I'm still walking full freaking speed ahead like nobody's business. So by the time I turned back around, bam, I hit the pole and dropped to the ground. I hit the pole with such velocity and ferocity that I thought someone attacked me. And I live in a very small, semi-rural town, and that doesn't really happen in the broad daylight, knock on wood. And B, I sort of passed out, like blacked out, but I was still kind of consciously in control. So because of that, I really struggled to open my eyes immediately and look around, noticing there was no one there. Look right in front of me. The pole was literally like 8 inches from my face. And then the realization that I hit the pole dawned on me, and I thought I broke all the teeth in front of my mouth. So of course, vanity set in, and I was completely freaked out. And I really was distraught breaking a front tooth. It's been fixed. That was like 4 years ago. I can see the tooth is slowly wearing down. But, I thought about it. At that time, I was 44 years old. Now I'm quickly approaching 48. And I just thought to myself, you know what, self, just calm down, Tamu, calm down. Do you expect to make it all the way through life and never break anything or damage anything? That's absurd. Stuff happens, and it's gonna happen, and it's okay. The great thing is you live to tell the tale, and the other thing is you learned a lesson from it. So in the Tao Te Ching that we just read about, you know, embracing calamities and you know, to not not be surprised or to be surprised at it, embrace it, because it's part of life and it's going to happen. Now, I could have just completely lost it and really been distraught forever and a day. Yes, cosmetically, my tooth was fixed. No, it's not the same. And I can tell the difference. Like when I speak, I can feel the air escaping that side a little bit more. And it's really acute when I'm really tired or kind of feeling off. But hey, shit happens. It does. And it's okay. It's just one more testimony. And what are you going to do with it? You're going to either learn something from it or you're going to become bitter. That's what happens. Okay. So let's see. Who do we have up? All right. So is Mimi still here? Let me know if you're still here, Mimi. And then Red Moon. Let's see. I know that typing into the chat room is a lot quicker than, because I believe there's like a 30-second delay. And if anyone wants to come on video with me, I would be very happy to have you on. Let me see. All right. I said I would use a Wildwood deck. So that's what I'm going to do. And this pulling of the card is for Red Moon. Let's see. Does Red Moon have a channel? Let me go to Red Moon's channel. Okay. Nope, there's no channel there. Okay. All right. So Red Moon. This is for you, Red Moon. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the deck. Let me hold it up. So one thing I have to say is I do not do questions. I pull a card to give you the energy that is surrounding you right now. If you want questions and want more in-depth readings, that's where you can contact me via email and my website, and we can set up a session, a paid session. But I'm using the Wildwood Tarot, and this is actually my first time. You are welcome, Trey. Trey says, thank you for bringing such diverse guests onto your channel. Okay. I'm a Libra too, Cupcake. All right. Okay. All right. So I am just pulling cards, no questions, and see how the cards apply to you. And this is for Red Moon. And once the video live is done, I do my best to go back in to disable the live chat, because my feelings are, if you weren't here live to join in the conversation, it's sort of voyeurism to see all of the conversation that went on behind the scenes. So that's why I figure people can just, you know, post their comments. So this is for Red Moon. Pulling the card for Red Moon. And I will be consulting the book along with this. Just like I said, I am brand new to this deck. All right. Let me put my glasses on, make sure I can see the card. All right. So this is for Red Moon. One more shuffle. Okay, Red Moon. All right. So Red Moon, the card that I have pulled for you is 8 of Vessels, and it represents rebirth. Rebirth. Welcome, natural angel. So it represents rebirth. Oh, can you see that? Hopefully it's focusing right. There we go. Rebirth. So how do we describe this card? There's a large water vessel like suspended in midair, and there are like three smaller vessels pouring water into the larger vessels. And then there are, how many are there? There looks to be like 4 vessels down at the bottom receiving the water and pouring it back into the flow. And as we know, water in vessels, which this is traditionally cups, is all about romance. It's all about life. This card is about rebirth. So let me see what we have to say about this one. Okay, so we are doing the 8 of Vessels. Okay. And hold on one moment. I need to pick something up. Okay, so of course, 8 can represent, you know, the number 8, reevaluation, evolution, movement from one phase to the next. It's also the infinity sign. Infinity sign on its side. 8 is my life path number. So this card is about rebirth. And of course, the waters and emotions. Okay, description. From the middle of a fast-flowing stream, we see an ancient cauldron hanging from a great chain. And the trees above it are 3 smaller cauldrons. Water and energy flow from them, filling the great cauldron, which in turn overflows and fills 4 more, which sit on the rocks below and ever flow into the stream. And if you think of it, rocks represent foundation and stability. You know, it represents the earth. So in this card, you kind of have a balance. You have the emotions and you have the body. Cauldron can also represent the womb, a place of creation. Okay. Welcome, Mari. And, you know, I see the main cauldron is large and it's been filled by 3 smaller cauldrons. And you can look at that, you know, when I think of those 3 smaller cauldrons pouring the water into the larger cauldron, you know, you can think of that as the Holy Trinity of self, the mind, body, spirit, okay? Or the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and the superconscious mind, right? And then that water flows into the larger cauldron. And I think of that larger cauldron as sort of the self, you know, the seat of who you are and all that you contain. And then going into the 4 smaller ones, you know, 4 represents stability, also the 4 elements. So let's read a little bit of what the card says. By looking at the past, acknowledging our mistakes, and learning from them, we grow and attain new wisdom. The future waits to be unfolded by our positive action as we become the 8th vessel and receive powerful, rejuvenating energies of rebirth. So what I would look at this card for you, Red Moon, is to see how you're nurturing yourself and how you're fulfilling and loving yourself. Do you feel that you're half empty? Do you feel that you're not enough? You know, do you feel that you need something else to make you feel complete and full? So in light of this card, You know, you're being invited to rebirth within yourself, to feel yourself, to nurture your emotions, to see all of the places where you are full and you are holy and wholly perfect exactly as you are. And when you stand in that stability, when you stand on that ground, you recognize that you are deserving and that you are ready for the emotions, the romance, and whatever else it is that you need. But before you can reach that place, you're really going to have to work on filling yourself and not see yourself in a place of lack. Okay? You know, there's emotions, love is all around you. Embrace that love. And then as you embrace that love, watch how it manifests physically in your life. And you know, one of the things I notice that sometimes people can do, because they're wanting this love that they think, you know, it's outside of themselves, they accept less than what they actually deserve. So be careful that you're not giving your energy, pouring your energy into a vessel that has holes in it. Okay, so there you go. That's for you, Red Moon. All right. So the next one. Thank you, Cupcake. I will pull a card for you and post it here on the video. All right. So let's see. Well, I was going to do Cupcake next, but she's leaving. Who else? Okay. Okay, Zakia. All right, Zakia. So this one is for you, Zakia. Are you still here? All right, this one is for Zakia. And we are using the Wildwood Tarot. Welcome, Jasmine. Yes. Please remember to like this video. Please subscribe to the channel so you can be notified of when I go live. So this one is for Zakia. What a beautiful name. Who wants to come on camera? Anyone? All right, this one is for Zakia. Okay. Three of bows, fulfillment. And bows represent the energy of fire. And look at that caduceus there. There we go. Fulfillment. So let's see. Three represents growth and cooperation, friendships. Okay. Bows. All right. Fulfillment. A robed figure stands at the junction of two ways. One hand raised in blessing, the other holding a bow. So one hand is raised with a blessing, and the other is holding a bow, which represents the element of fire. Okay. Two bow staves made from freshly cut branches, trimmed but still rough hewn, stand planted in the earth on either side of the road, forming a gateway through which the figure offers welcome to approaching travelers, meaning nourishment from a spiritual source gives inner security and joy. Goals and desires are reached, making life rich and with emotional scrutiny and a sense of completion. The archer must be at one with the bow to fully direct its potential energy. And just as the arrow passes through the bow, propelling it to its target with effortless grace, the questioning heart of the seeker, the questioning heart and the seeker of knowledge allows the flow, energy to flow through her or him. This combination of balanced energy and intellectual focus enables the mastering of any situation and allows the enrichment of success by being both at one with the environment and its inhabitants. Reaching this inner stronghold of strength and peace can only be achieved by constant reappraisal, vigilance, and commitment to your goals. But the act of letting the power flow through you and having the trust to allow your arrows to fly complete an unseen universal circuit. So here we go. We have the robed person. So that's you, Zakia. You know, you have the balance of the light and the dark, and your intellect is right on target. Everything that you've been doing to enrich yourself, and once you begin to allow those arrows to fly and see where they land. And I like how the person in the photo, in this image, the one foot is kind of standing forward, ready to not only welcome what's coming to them, but to bless it. And, standing in their intellect and the sharpness and the creativity of being. So you are standing in the place, Zakia, ready to embrace being fulfilled, knowing who you are, embracing all of yourself, the light and the dark, which there's healing in that. The caduceus is wrapping its way around. There is healing in that. Zakia mentions that she is an Aries, so how ironic. So there you go. So be ready to stand in your fulfillment. Trust where you're putting your feet. Be ready to bless those actions and greet what is about to come towards you, because no matter what, you're going to be able to handle any situation. And Zakia says, on point, I appreciate it, thank you, I needed this. So there you go. Isn't that a beautiful image? I like that. And I like how the hood is sort of covering the eyes, which kind of makes you feel like the person is blind, but no, they're not, because you don't really need to see with your senses to know what you need to know. And if you look at the tree, that is a beautiful, thick and lush tree. Can you imagine what its roots are like? And that's like all of the ancestors standing behind you, propping you up, and all your merit. And as Mari says, the strength is in the tree. That is so true. The strength is in the tree, and then you have these two arrows that are not quite fully formed, just waiting for you to direct it. Okay, and so let's see, I think next is cupcake gratitude. Cupcake gratitude. I'm going to go ahead. Oh, Mari says, I have jasmine blooming all around my house in the start of spring. Oh my, I love the smell of jasmine. Jasmine and gardenia. You are welcome, Zakia. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel. All right, so this is for Cupcake. Cupcake gratitude. Now making me hungry. All right. So this one will be the last one for the evening. I wasn't planning on being on here very long. Mari says, soon you will be bearing the fruit which knowledge you will share. There you go. Yes, I encourage everyone to, join in. This is a community event. The energy is within all of us. And being a support to each other is indeed a beautiful thing. Mari grins. I had to turn the fan off because it's too loud, but Trust me, it is hot in here. All right, this one is for cupcake. All right. Okay, this is for you, cupcake. All right, Page of Stones. And stones represent the element of earth. Isn't that a beautiful? Ah, that lynx is beautiful. So let's look that one up. Page of Stones. And stones, as I mentioned before, is the element of earth. And it's associated with achievement, possessions, materials, security, practical skills, physical abilities, worldly ambitions, and being of the world. Page of Stones, the lynx. Still found in mountain woodlands in parts of Europe, the lynx is one of the creatures at the very top of the food chain. With its speed and cunning combination with its ability to climb trees, it is a formidable hunter, as well as a fierce protector of its young. Pay attention to the physical realm and be aware of the effects generated by everything you do. A strain of wildness and lack of forethought can sometimes hamper your forward passage. But careful consideration redresses the balance. And let's see, an aspect, learning the ropes as a beginner, keeping things down to earth or actual rather than virtual. Setting practical goals, being busy. Let's see. And it relates to a person, someone with common sense of dedication who enjoys learning skills that improve efficiency or lead to prosperity and comfort. As a friend, he or she values the authentic aspect of your character. Can be an idle, good for nothing, or fall into an inertia that's hard to shift. Okay, so you are welcome, Red Moon. All right, so this links, and this is for Cupcake. So this links, this is encouraging you to check in with your wisdom, to stay connected with what you know is true, what is right for you, and to not be afraid to just be yourself, to be in that place of balance and to be yourself. Because when you're able to just relax and be yourself, things will fall into place as they should. You know, you can see that look on the lynx face, you know. Take your time as you're checking out the scenery. Take your time and, you know, be cunning in how you decide to move and where you decide to set your feet down. So allow an agility. Marie mentions agility. Yes. Look at how you mentioned that a friend that you're being reunited with. Check yourself. Notice where you're stepping and how you're going to move. Pay attention to how that person is behaving. Allow yourself to find a space in there where you can fit. But most importantly, be yourself. And fall back on the wisdom on which you stand. And always think of the branches on the tree of life. They're like branches of wisdom. You got this, Cupcake. And if you look right there underneath that branch, there's a stone, which to me represents earth which represents a good foundation. So being true to yourself, doing what you know to be the right thing, being balanced and processing your steps will help get you through this reunion. And above all else, enjoy. So there you go. My God, it is hot. All right, I'm going to do one last card pull. And thank you for bearing with me as I checked in with the Wildwood card. I want to pull a I Ching, a Tao Oracle for someone. So if you would like me to pull a Tao Oracle for you, go ahead. And Mari says his ears are up. Yes, pay attention. Pay attention to what is being said. Be cunning. And cunning, you know, I used to think of that word cunning as like, you know, a negative word or a bad word, but actually cunning is it's a good word. It's a word that encourages you to calculate your steps, know what you're doing, you know, be flexible and fluid in your movement. Have your ears up. Be ready for anything. Without worry, without fear. So, who wants this final reading? Go ahead and say me. And it's going to be from the Tao Oracle, the I Ching. I'm going to take these glasses off because I don't need them to see the screen. I'm quite ready to go blind. Okay. All right. So I don't see anyone who says that they in particular want this last card pull. So I'm just going to pull it for the group and for whoever is watching. Okay, Trey. All right. So this is for Trey. Trey says me. So this is for you, Trey. Okay, one last shuffle. All right, what do we have? I cannot read that. And it's not because of my eyes so much. It's because of the handwriting. I mean, the font. Abysmal. 29. Danger, insecurity, overwhelm, unpredictability, hazardous conditions, dark emotions, facing fears, and courage. Can you imagine going off the cliff into that waterfall? It would almost make you feel as though you're drowning. So let's look up this particular hexagram, which is hexagram number 29. We're going to look that up. I like to use Benabel Wynn's translation of the I Ching, Pitfalls, Perils in the Abyss. It's made up of 2 water trigrams, and the water Mari mentions, and this is about the links card that we just did. Cats have amazing balance and can sit still for ages in one spot, as if their meditation. They are playful and patient. That is so true. And they're independent. They're very independent and solitary. And they land on their feet, on all fours. So water. So this hexagram is a double water. The bagua or the trigram is water. okay? And it represents great depths, being submerged into depths, strong movement or momentum. It's connected with the moon, lunar forces. It's all about exercise and caution, potential for danger, profundity, uh, unseen terrestrial energies. And so the archetype for this hexagram, for the Bagua, and for this hexagram, it's like the pilgrim and the seeker. And the immortal is Li Tai Guai, and I'm sure I did not pronounce that correctly, who's the patron of healers, medical doctors, physicians, invoked for helping the poor and downtrodden. And the state, empowered state, is hexagram 29. So even though this card says abysmal, the abysmal, this is an empowered state for this trigram. So this is, you know, we can focus on facing your fears. You have some dark emotions deep down. You want to face those fears. And hey, don't be afraid of the water. Don't be afraid of the depths, because going into the abyss, the abysmal, going into those great depths is a way of being reborn. It's a way of facing, you know, because you can imagine going down this waterfall and hitting that water and almost feeling like every sinew, every muscle of yours has been ripped apart. Allow it to happen, okay? Allow it to happen. Face those dark emotions. Face that fear, because inside of that water, there's a lot of courage. So emotions can be overwhelming. There can be a lot of fear, but facing it. Yeah, there's nothing stopping the flow of water. And, you know, flow of water, rushing water can kill you. Rushing water can give you life. It's your choice. Be empowered. Rushing water powers, you know, wind, those turbines, the water turbines that generate electricity. Use those dark emotions, use that fear, use all of that to empower you forward. So there you go, Trey, that is for you. Meditate on water. Meditate on the water, and there's your answers. You can almost feel the mist that comes up. So there you go. All righty. So thank you guys for joining me, and thank you for being subscribers, and thank you for sharing the videos. So very much appreciated. The journey over this last year has been incredible. I've learned a lot. I've met some amazing people, and I am very thankful for the opportunity. If you are interested in having an in-depth reading, you can contact me, and I can let you know depending on what you want. I do I Ching readings with Yarrow's thoughts, which takes me about an hour to do the entire reading and a write-up. I do 3-card readings, 2-card readings, oracle or tarot. And let's see. Okay, welcome Calvin and Jasmine and Trey. Thank you all for being here. So let's go ahead and take a nice deep centering breath. And thank you, Marie and Cupcake and Red Moon and Jasmine and Mimi and everyone else. Zakia. Let's see, making sure. Oh, Natural Angel, welcome. All right, Kayla, thank you. Oh, I see. I think I missed Kayla. Kayla, please, next time. I am so sorry. I just realized I missed Kayla. I missed Kayla. So sorry about that, Kayla. So anyway, but my clock is winding down. I'm a early to bed kind of person. I have a client first thing in the morning. So let's take a nice deep centering breath. I thank all of you for being in this sacred space today. Let's take a moment to remember our ancestors and all those who have come before us. I thank you. I wish you peace and great bliss. I'm Tamu Ngina, Priestess Heart. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you next time. Peace.